Hey guys, so I'm a sim racer at heart, in case you haven't guessed, but I also study psychotherapy, and I think that gives me a very unique lens on the way we interact with our sport and hobby. Turns out the way that we think, react, and compare ourselves on track, like pretty much all of our interactions in daily life, it's deeply psychological. Hence my interest in creating this sim racing psychology video series. So if you enjoy videos that unpack the mental game of sim racing, hit subscribe, as firstly I'd love to see you around, and secondly there's plenty more like this coming. Today let's talk about social comparison theory. So what is social comparison theory? Coined by psychologist Leon Festinger, the theory basically says we understand ourselves by comparing ourselves to others. But not all comparisons are created equal. There's an upward comparison, looking at someone who you perceive as to be better than you, and there's a downward comparison, someone who you perceive to be worse off than you. So the idea is we're constantly checking, how am I doing compared to them? Seems harmless, right? Well, it's not, because our brains don't just collect the simple data points. They attach value, emotions, and identity. So next up, why upward comparison can hurt your progress. Say you watch someone nail every apex at Spa, and your brain doesn't just go, data collected, or data for later. It goes, why can't I do that? Why am I shit? This is especially dangerous if you're new in your sim racing journey, if you don't understand why they're faster than you, or worse, you think you're trying just as hard, if not harder, but you're not improving. This is when upward comparison can turn a little bit toxic. Instead of learning, you start spiraling, you feel overwhelmed, behind, or like you'll never catch up. And ironically, you might drive worse because of it. And why would this be? Because your focus shifts from your own growth to their perfection. So it's definitely worth knowing where your focus is and your intent, especially when you're doing some form of an upward comparison. So when can upward comparisons be helpful then? Okay, so are we saying don't watch fast people? Not quite. Here's when upward comparisons do work. When it's specific. How are they taking turn 3? They carry more speed in this corner. Wait a minute, let me move back. Let me see their entry. Maybe they're setting up the corner so much wider that it's actually very easy to go that much faster in the corner, and I'm focusing on one spot. I'm being specific. When it's tactical, when you're looking at what lines they're using in the wet, really looking to take tools off of them. Have this mindset when you're watching other people, like, I will get there. I'm trying hard, but I'm doing well. Little by little, step by step. So always remember, you're not watching faster people to measure your worth. You're watching them to get some tools. And these come slowly. You can't grab them all at the once, but you can pick up little things here and there. Oh, they use this part of the track on entry. They're using this gear. Why are they doing that? Ask those kind of questions. Think about it like food. You know, if you're cooking a meal or something like that, most good chefs will always tell you, to listen to your food, to look at your food, to taste your food, to taste it in the process. Really kind of deconstruct what you're looking at, because you might find the root cause is actually something that you didn't expect at all. But yeah, don't measure worth, gather tools. Big difference. So how to use comparisons without losing your mind. So here's what helped me. Maybe it'll help you too. Treat fast laps like tutorials, not benchmarks. Set your personal bests, not theirs. Make sure the main opponent of yourself is the past you. Very important to compare yourself against the past you. That's where you're going to see actual growth or decline, but at least you have a proper comparison and not something as arbitrary as an external as some super fast guy you've just seen online that you don't really understand their driving style. For example, if last week you missed every apex and then this week you only missed 2, that's amazing, that's growth, that's pat on the back, and that's a clap. Don't be afraid to limit your exposure to stuff like, people telling you how to drive fast or people actually driving super fast when you can't crack it. It is okay to mute the aliens for a bit and just enjoy feeling fast. But just to hone in on that point, make sure you're comparing against yourself. Go for very little gains, the easiest low-hanging fruit you can do. I'm going to brake earlier here, so I can definitely hit this apex. I'm a little bit slower, but I can do that every lap. That is a huge win. That is mega. And then once you start doing that, you start looking at these replays and you start comparing to other people, because there's very valuable data out there in comparison, replays, all this stuff, telemetry. You just got to know how to use it and use it in a healthy way so it doesn't impact how you basically interact with the sport and how you feel about it, all that kind of stuff. It's a very long-term thing, sim racing is, so you really have to manage your relationship with it and looking at how you deal with comparison, because we're literally racing against people. You're chasing someone, you're being chased, you're constantly analyzing your opponents, who's doing this, who's doing that, how can I do this so I can be here? There's a lot going on. Stay in your lane, focus on yourself, go for those little wins, and enjoy the heck out of it. So sim racing's a mental sport just as much as a mechanical one. In comparison, it's the quickest way to turn a passion into pressure. So next time you watch it on board of a top split driver, just remember, they're not proof that you're behind, they are proof that it's possible. And I really mean it. I'm literally an example of it. I never thought I'd be in top split racing GT3s. Somehow I find myself there. It is living hell. There are people I will never catch, probably. But I never fully concede to it. I just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. We'll see where we go. Now, if this helped you, or if you have anything you'd like to contribute down below, God, I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure other people would too. Don't be afraid to start a bit of a discussion down below of your interpretation of this, or if you have a different version, anything at all. There's no right or wrong answers here. We're just mentioning things, highlighting them, and just kind of being aware of it. There's nothing you need to do after this video. It's just to kind of sit back, have a think about it, reflect on the way you treat other people's replays, telemetry, how you analyze yourself against your competitors. That's pretty much all you do. Awareness is 90% to getting to the solution of all this stuff. So just by hearing this stuff and just having to think about it in your own way, that means a lot. That really is a big step in the right direction, even if it feels like you haven't physically done anything. Don't forget to keep pushing, but only against your own limits. Best of luck, guys, and I will see you in the next one.